So I went from 40K in debt to becoming a self-made millionaire at the age of 26 and a multimillionaire shortly after, all while being in my 20s. I'm 29 now, so almost 30, but not quite. And in this video, I just want to share you my story and the biggest takeaways that I've learned throughout this journey so that hopefully you guys can learn from it and help you out in your journey as well. Now, I don't want this video to be this hyped up, crazy edits all over the place kind of video. I just want to sit down and have a normal conversation and be absolutely real with you guys. So a quick backstory is that I'm born and raised in Wakayama, Japan, which is a rural area in Japan that nobody really heard about. So I grew up there until I was 14, and when I was 14, as a family, we moved to Hawaii, also in the countryside, and that's where I went to high school and learned English. Now, growing up in the countryside of Japan, I was literally the only mixed kid there besides my brother. So every time I left the house, I got a lot of attention. You know, other people would just stare at me. Other kids would just point at me and say, "Hey, look, a gaijin," which is, it means a foreigner in Japanese. And literally every single time I stepped out of the house, that happened every single day, multiple times for the first 14 years of my life. I remember when I first attended elementary school, which was just a normal public school, other kids from different classes would form a line outside of my class so that they can peek into my class just to see me like I was some kind of zoo animal. So this caused me to grow up extremely shy, very, very self-conscious, and I basically skipped the entire first and second grade of my elementary school. I just stayed home playing video games all day. And, Japan has this mindset of fitting in, right? If everybody else is doing it, you do it too. But I never really subscribed to that idea because I never really fit in from the way I looked anyways. So I'm not sure if this experience contributed into me pursuing entrepreneurship later in life, or, maybe I just had that entrepreneurial mindset in me. I'm not sure. But when I was 18, so now we're in Hawaii, my friend got me into multi-level marketing. So he recruited me into it. And that was the first time I've learned the concept of passive income. Until then, I thought you had to work a certain hours to get paid a certain hours. I didn't know that you could make money while you sleep or doing something else. And the moment I learned about the concept, I immediately thought that's exactly what I want, because I never really cared for having fancy houses like mansions, fancy cars like Lambos, nice watches. I never really cared about those things pretty much my entire life, right? I wanted a passive income and I wanted to make money because I wanted freedom. I just didn't want to report to a boss. I wanted to wake up anytime I want. I wanted to do whatever the heck I want every single day. I just wanted that complete freedom, and passive income is exactly how you get that. So since then, that's been my life goal, to make enough passive income so I never have to work again. And I tried to make that happen in multi-level marketing. I tried it for 4 years. I really, really, put in a lot of effort into it. Ended up losing thousands of dollars and a lot of time, obviously, and I only made about $100 in 4 years. I do think the business model of MLM kind of sucks, but anyways, I transitioned into, taking various sales jobs. So I did door-to-door sales, telemarketing, retail sales, pretty much any type of sales job, because I really sucked at communication. I could barely speak English properly even now, right? So my focus was to improve my sales skills, but also my communication skills, because I read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in that book, they talked about sales being the best career because you didn't have to wait until you get a raise to make more money, right? You just have to sell more, get better at selling. And if you do get better at selling, you can immediately start making money. So that's exactly what I've done. So again, I wasn't really good at it. I probably made about $2,000 a month or so. And I was living by myself in Hawaii. Now I was in Honolulu, Hawaii. So, this is kind of the more expensive area. Hawaii is very expensive to live anyways. But despite that, I've only spent $900 a month to live because I was renting a place for $600, a very tiny private room, sharing the living room, kitchen, and the shower room, whatnot, with 6 other people. So I only paid $600 for that. And then I would never eat out, never shop, nothing. And I would just grocery shop, eat the same thing every single day. And that was about $300 a month. And I had my $50 bicycle that I would ride to for work and everywhere else, or take a city bus. So it was very, very cheap. I never owned a car. I probably ate out maybe once every 3 to 4 months. And when I do, it's either Subway or Panda Express for just $10. I had absolutely zero social life. Basically, I dedicated my entire early 20s to just making money, pursuing this goal of creating passive income. So every single money that I made from my job, right, from my sales job, I saved and I invested back into my business. MLM didn't work out, but then I went on to try different business models like affiliate marketing, blogging, e-commerce, and they all failed. I've literally made $100 once again in 4 years while spending thousands and countless of hours. So at this point, I'm thinking I'm just a failure. Like there's no way I can make it happen. Every single new thing that I would start, I'm going in with this mindset that I'm gonna fail anyways. I was just so used to failing that that's how I felt. So this is around when I was 22. But one day after work, I came home and I YouTubed how to make money online just randomly. And I found this video from this guy talking about a new business model that I never heard of called Kindle Publishing, also known as Amazon KDP, which is a business model where you publish books on Amazon that you didn't even write and you make money from it. And he mentioned that it is the easiest way for beginners to start making money online. So I'm like, why not? I have nothing to lose, everything else. I tried, I failed. So I'm like, I'm just going to give it a try. So I took his course, published one book, and believe it or not, I made $300 the first month. And I was absolutely blown away because that was the first time I ever actually made money online. So I might have jumped the gun a little bit after that, but what I've done is I immediately invested everything that I had into hiring a coach for this business. I paid about $6,000 for 10 sessions, so just 10 hours, for a coach to walk me through this process. So this was my life savings at age 22, but I was saving about $1,000 a month from my job where I was making $2K a month because I was living extremely frugally, right? And I was dumping everything back into my business. So just as a side note, this is exactly why I don't really understand when people say, oh, I don't have the money to invest in a business, because I've done it living in Hawaii, one of the most expensive state in the US. You just got to live like crap for a while, and sacrifice everything, and you will probably find money. No one gave me money. I did everything on my own. I just lived like absolute crap for many, many years. But, you got to do what you got to do. So anyways, I kept reinvesting back into my business, kept building it, and I hit my first $1,000 in a month at month 3, and then I hit my first $10,000 in a month by month 10. So at this point, I had enough good profit margin and stability that I was able to quit my job and just do this business full time. So even though now I'm making 6 figures a year, I didn't increase how much I was spending, right? I still lived like crap for multiple years after that. Basically never moved out of my apartment with 6 crappy roommates, never bought a car, nothing, still rode my $50 bicycle, never eating out. And I basically saved a lot of money throughout the process, and I reinvested everything back into my business. Also, I started investing into stocks and real estate to grow that money even more. Now, I did that for years, and I wanted to move to Bali and start living as a digital nomad, as I had some friends who were doing that, but I couldn't because I had a crooked jaw that I was born with, and I had to get a surgery for it. Unfortunately, the surgery was not covered by insurance, so I had to pay $35,000 out of pocket. And this process literally took like 4 years, and I had to see the doctor in Hawaii. And so that's why I couldn't leave. But as a side note, this is another reason why I wanted to make a lot of money, because, it felt so shitty to have to tell the doctor that I literally cannot do the surgery because I don't have that kind of money. And I had braces at this point preparing for the surgery. So I literally had to remove my braces, basically wasting like 1 year of my life seeing the doctor to, adjust my teeth for the braces and stuff like that. And I ended up getting the surgery at age 25. So a couple years later, thanks to my business picking up. But yeah, it was a huge motivation for me. And since I was done with the surgery, I was free to travel and go to Bali. So I quickly went back to see my parents before I do so. That's when I got a good offer. Someone wanted to buy my Amazon KDP business for $820,000. So that's exactly what I've done. I've sold it for $820K, got the cash. And at this point, I had couple years of making 6 figures a year from my business, and I was saving everything and investing into stocks and real estate, which grew. So that made me a self-made millionaire at age 26. So as you can see, I became a millionaire from actually doing the business, not from selling courses like most other fake gurus. So I then moved to Bali and started living as a digital nomad, and it was kind of crazy because I was still spending the same amount of money to live. So at this point, I increased my spending a little bit. So I was spending $2,000 to $3,000 a month in Hawaii, but $2,000 to $3,000 a month in Bali or anywhere in Southeast Asia, your money goes a lot further. So now I went from, living in a tiny apartment with 6 roommates to now I had a private villa with a private pool overseeing the rice field. And it's crazy what you can do, if you're making money online and you have the freedom to live anywhere. So this allowed me to significantly increase the quality of life that I had, while still being able to save a ton of money to reinvest back into building new businesses and also just keep investing into different assets. So I created another Amazon KDP account and I grew that to 6 figures a year once again. And I also started teaching other people on how to do this business on YouTube. So I now have multiple streams of income: my Amazon KDP business, my YouTube AdSense, some affiliate commissions, as well as I also started selling a KDP course only after I became a millionaire though, not way before like most people do. So from these combined, I've made millions more. So as you can see here, from the YouTube AdSense, I made over $100,000. This is lifetime though. This is over about 6 years or so. So it's nothing crazy, nothing significant. I also have some affiliate links in my videos recommending products and tools that I actually use. Obviously, you want to recommend the ones that you believe in, not just to make money. But affiliate products, I got a bunch, so I made multiple 6 figures from this. These are some of the bigger ones, as you can see. And for my course sales, I've grossed over $2 million from selling courses. Now, these are all revenue. It's not profit. I have a pretty high spend now with a bunch of teams, high ad spend. So the profit margin isn't as good as you think. And believe it or not, the course business has been the biggest headache of all the business that I've tried. A lot of people think selling courses is easy money. Yes, you make a lot of money, as you can see, but the behind the scenes is actually a lot more BS that goes through it. But anyways, I've made more money this way, and I became a multimillionaire even after paying for all the expenses and paying taxes. So I get called a scammer or a fake guru literally every single day. And yes, I do agree, you are a scammer if you're selling courses on things that you've never done, or you basically made a couple $1,000s from this business and now you're selling courses because you make more money that way. Yes, you're a scammer if you do that, right? But I actually made money from this business and I still do to this day. I still am actively building my publishing business. So anyways, that is the quick summary of my story. And there are a lot more things that I would like to share, but obviously the video will be way too long. So now I want to share you the biggest takeaways that I've learned throughout this journey. And if you do implement these tips, I know for a fact that you will achieve the same results, if not better, than me, and you will do it much faster. So lesson number 1 is consistency beats literally everything else. So over the years, I've seen a ton of people succeed in business and a ton of people fail in business. And if I can pinpoint one trait from all the successful people, that'll be that they are extremely consistent. They show up literally every single day and they put in the work. Because most people are like this. They love talking about ideas on how they're gonna make money. They love, discussing it with people. They love networking and they love, talking about what they're gonna do. But then they never actually do it. They never take action. Even if they do, they get discouraged very quickly, usually within the first 1 to 3 months if they're not seeing results, and then they quit. Successful people understand that things takes a lot longer. Usually in any business, you really should be going all in for at least 1 year to see some kind of results. You can't expect to see results within the first couple months. And successful people understand that and they're not afraid to commit to it and take action once again consistently. They have a much longer term vision and they can usually delay gratifications much longer than people who are not successful. Lesson number 2 is you got to believe that you can. So as I became more successful, my circle expanded. I started meeting a lot of other successful entrepreneurs too. I met many millionaires, multimillionaires. I even started to meet these people that I used to watch on YouTube or anywhere else that I used to follow, right? So all these people that I used to look up to, now I'm meeting them in person, getting to know them. So I can confidently tell you from experience that they're nothing special. They're not these business gods. They're not even geniuses. They're normal people just like you and me. In fact, I'll be completely honest, a lot of them are pretty dumb and yet they're making millions. Why? Because they believe that they can do it, and then they go and take massive action. A lot of them are pretty dumb to the point where they don't have the self-awareness to not know that they're not smart, so that they think they're smart, so that they believe that they can do it, and so they go take action and they actually make a lot of money. Funny how that works, right? So I'm not throwing shades at anyone. I'm just, saying that to illustrate a point. But the point is, you got to understand that you can do it, and then you have to back that up by action. So lesson number 3 is you want to be extremely frugal or lavish in certain areas. So as you heard my story, you can see that I was extremely frugal in spending money in personal stuff. I didn't spend money in anything stupid, right? Like buying cars, watches, any nice personal thing, because these are materialistic things that doesn't matter. But I was extremely lavish in my spending in my education, in my business, right? Literally, when I was getting started at age 22, broke, I used all my life savings, $6,000, into hiring a coach to work with one-on-one. And I was spending $1,000 a month, which was everything that I was making, when I was working a job, back into the business to build my business. So you see that I was extremely frugal in one part of life, and I was extremely lavish in another part where it mattered. And since then, I've continued to invest in countless courses and mentorships, and every single time it's shortcutted my progress significantly. Now, some of the mentorships that I got were legit scams, and I'm not gonna lie. I basically tried to start a new business based on somebody's recommendation, and that company got shut down, and I lost about $110,000 from that. And that was devastating. And then right after that, I invested $25,000 into a mentor who claimed to be this successful guru. And that was a complete lie. He was this complete scammer, and I basically lost 25K. Now, this was devastating. So you definitely want to do your due diligence to make sure that the person is legit. But the point is, so many people aren't afraid of spending their money on stupid things like, cars, watches, fancy shoes, and vacations, and they're spending thousands of dollars there. But then when you tell them that, you got to buy this course for a couple thousand, they freak out, right? It just doesn't make any sense. All right, lesson number 4 is you got to pick the right vehicle. This is something that nobody talks about. I've never heard of anybody talk about this, but you have to start with the end goal in mind. So what is your goal? Do you just want to make a crap ton of money so you can buy your private jets? You want to buy your Lambos, right? If that's the goal, then you can basically choose a business model that you can just make a lot of money, regardless of happiness, freedom, time, freedom, location freedom, nothing. If you just want to make money, you can just build an agency or whatever you want, right? But if your end goal is freedom, and then you go and build a business that will not give you freedom, like a lot of businesses out there will give you a lot of money. You can achieve financial freedom in most businesses, but there are a lot of businesses out there that will not give you location freedom, that will not give you time freedom, right? So if that's important to you, if you want to do what I'm doing, which is basically you can pack up and leave and go to a new country and live there anytime you want. I can work anytime I want. I don't have to work if I don't feel like it. I have absolute time freedom to do whatever I want. I have absolute location freedom to go and live anywhere I want, because my business does not bound me to a location. Like if you're doing real estate investing, you don't have that. You have to be in a certain area to make it happen, right? Or if you're dealing with physical products and you have manufacturing, you got to ship products to you for you to check, then you don't have any, location freedom, because you can't be traveling all the time. It's going to be super hard for you to ship items to you, right? So same thing as time freedom. If you have an agency business and you have to constantly do meetings and you have to talk to clients all the time, what happens if your clients are in the US time zone and you want to go to Southeast Asia? The time zones are completely opposite, right? So you basically either have to work during the night, and then you sleep during the day, which makes no sense, because then you're not enjoying the country at all, right? So you don't really have the time freedom as well. So once again, there's a lot of businesses out there that'll get you financial freedom. That's not really an issue, but not a lot of business can get you, location and time freedom. So what a lot of people do is they end up starting these businesses like an agency business, and they make money, but they hate their life, right? And they try to use the money that they make from the agencies to start another business that'll get them more freedom. But why not just start from the beginning? Why not just start, from a freedom-based business from the start if that's your goal, right? So that's what I'm talking about here. And so I truly believe that the best business, if you want freedom, is a digital product based business. So you don't have no physical products to deal with, right? No manufacturing, no shipping, no nothing to deal with. Plus you get way higher profit margins too. And on top of that, if you can leverage a third party like Amazon, where they literally handle customer service and, everything for you so that you don't even have to do customer service, right? That is the most passive thing ever. And to this day, I still publish and I still do my Amazon KDP business that I started with, even though I have a lot more experience, a lot more skills, and I know a lot more businesses out there. I have a lot of options, and yet I still build this business. And that is because my goal is freedom. And there is no other business, at least the ones that I know of, that provides me with this much freedom than a business like Amazon KDP, or, you can do something else if you want to, but hopefully you get my point. So lesson number 5 is to get a mentor, right? So I'm not saying this just to sell you my course. You don't have to buy my course if you don't like me for whatever reason. But I'm saying either way, you should probably get somebody that you can work with one-on-one so that they can show you the ropes. Somebody who has the results that you want so that you can follow their path and shortcut, your path to success. A lot of people don't want to buy courses. A lot of people don't want to pay for mentorship, not because they don't have the money, but because they are scared that they will lose the money, right? So they're scared of losing money when the whole point of buying courses or, coaching is so that you can make more money, right? So people are thinking completely backwards. The reason why people think they're going to lose money is because they don't believe that they can actually make it happen and make more money from the information that they were provided, right? If you truly believe that you can take a course or, get coaching and use that information to make more money, then you would not be afraid of investing the money. But because you don't believe that you can make it happen, because you don't believe maybe in the business model, you don't think it's legit, or maybe you don't think that you can do it, maybe you think the business is legit, but you just don't believe that you can make it happen, right? Either way, your belief is suffering, your belief is lacking, and that is why you think if you invest the money, you're just gonna waste it, right? So it kind of comes back to belief. You just gotta believe that you can make it happen. And like I said earlier, people dumber than you are making millions. So you can do it too. Just got to believe in it. So that was my quick story and the biggest takeaways on what I've learned throughout this journey. I want to make more videos like this where it's like a sit down kind of, conversation style. So if you do enjoy it, let me know in the comments. If you want to check out my programs, it's in the description below. Once again, if you don't like me for whatever reason, you don't have to, that's not the point of this video. But yeah, let me know if you like these videos. Leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.